coaches, front row, middle. Dave.
Coach Dave, do you like the way the schedule sets up this year with the 2 bye weeks kind of, about 2 weeks apart? And it's an unusual schedule. Do you like the way it sets up, or would you prefer it maybe a more traditional schedule?
No, I think it gives us a chance to, kind of regroup a little bit. Kind of take some self-assessment on where we're at during the season, also heal up. So I think anytime you can get a bye week, it's great.
I know you're not going to get specific about injuries, but overall, halfway through the season, do you feel good about where your team is at, health-wise, and just were you guys able to heal up a little bit during the bye week?
Yeah, a couple weeks to kind of heal up, and I think overall we are. We played some depth this first 6 games, and so we've got a lot of guys out there, which is great too. So we do have some depth at different positions. But like any team, 6-7 weeks into the season, there are some different things, nagging injuries here and there, but overall we've been pretty healthy.
Far left, Lori.
You had said that you wanted to do some self-scouting during the bye week. What was your top-line takeaways from that?
Nothing. Just like you said, that just are glaringly, evident. Just a lot of little things here and there on both sides of the ball. And when you play 6 games, you start to create some tendencies. You do different things, and so you just want to look to see, first off, personnel-wise, if you're doing things the right way, and then secondly, schematically, what are our tells? What are some things we need to clean up? And then, as individuals, what are some things they need to get better at? And so we gave all of our guys 3 different things they need to improve at, so that we could say get better, but get better at what? And there were some more targeted ideas on what we need to get better at.
Ryan, what is the challenge of coaching a team where the stakes aren't glaring? I imagine when the margin of return is very tight with the corrections that you have to make. What are the challenges of that?
Well, we just have to be critical, and I think that the players have to understand that as coaches, we're not being overcritical. It's just that we understand as talent equates, when we start getting into these games like we do this week, it's going to be, those issues are still there. They're still on the film, and we have to address them. And again, as we start to get tighter competition, they're going to show up more and more. And that's the challenge, I think, for the staff and for this team to understand, the maturity to understand that the urgency to get better, even though maybe sometimes those mistakes haven't cost us a game yet.
Third row right, Rob.
When this game was announced Friday night, a lot of high school coaches were upset by that. Are you sympathetic to their plight? And how much have you heard from them in terms of how it might hurt them and you being the guy in Ohio, or are you a sounding board for them on that?
Yeah, but I haven't really got much feedback from the guys on that, just one-on-one in my conversations with high school coaches. I'm sure they don't appreciate it, but that's out of our hands, out of our control, and not much we can do about it.
Far right over here, Jeremy.
Can you, looking back to when you started as an assistant 15 years ago in college football, to the reputation that Ohio State has of a football factory, and in the last few years you guys have been much more involved recruiting kids who have offers from places like Stanford, Northwestern, etc. Has that been easy for you guys to sell based on Real Life Wednesdays, all that stuff, or how have you been able to push for those types of kids and against stereotypes?
Well, I think the best thing about Ohio State when you're recruiting right now is not only can you recruit throughout the country and the reputation that we have on the field, but also off the field and what we're doing academically. And so what's happened is, we've opened up our recruiting and to really everybody. But the thing that we're doing is we're competing against some of the top academic schools, year in and year out for some of the best student athletes. And I think what everyone's finding is not only the networking and the reach that Ohio State has and the power of our alumni is really great, but also what a great academic school Ohio State is, and all the different things and majors and in different areas that guys can come in and do a great job in competing at the highest level, but then also competing at the highest level in the classroom. And so that really has opened up a lot of doors for us and a lot of opportunities to recruit different people.
Is there still a pushback, like when you go around different parts of the country, from people who don't really buy it?
I think the further away you go from Ohio, I think when people come in and see our campus and get to meet with our academic people and understand what a beautiful place this is, but also the power that it has academically, I think that they learn more and more about it. I think the closer you get to Ohio State, the more they know that. In the Midwest and everything like that, I think the reputation speaks for itself. but it is great to get people who are in different parts of the country to come in and show them what we have.
Second row left, Bill.
Ryan, this is maybe a little off topic from this week's game, but I wanted to ask you about the offense that Northwestern was running, back in the day when Randy Walker and Kevin Wilson were there. It's my understanding that Chip went and visited with those guys when he was at New Hampshire. And I'm just wondering if that ever became any kind of influence on you as a player, watching those games, watching Zach Kustok doing what he was doing.
Yeah, we used to watch all the films. That was how the spread game started. And we came back and called it everything that Kevin Wilson and Coach Walker and everybody called it at Northwestern. That was like the way to run the spread offense. And so Chip went out and visited them and came back with all the different terminology. And I was like the guinea pig quarterback to try to figure it out. And some games and some plays were better than others. But that was the start of it. And Kevin Wilson was right on the front end of that. And so, yeah, the offense that we were running there, a lot of it had to do with Northwestern. There were other teams, I think Rich Rodriguez was at Clemson at the time, and Wake Forest had a part. There was different, versions of it, but certainly Northwestern was right on the front end.
And moving forward from that, I guess, how did it influence you as a coach, that idea that you can spread teams out like that but still run the ball in a powerful kind of way? Well,
yeah, I think the idea is that you're trying to create space, and especially today's day and age with the size of the different players that are out there. It's become harder and harder to run between the tackles because they're so big and strong, and the more you can get guys out in space, the better off it is. You look at basketball, that's the way they're going. It's the same thing in football, but that doesn't take away from the toughness and the edge that you play with and block and run with. And so having the two of those, being physical but also being able to spread teams out, I think is a great combination.
Front row right, Austin.